Are you happy now? Wait! Don't answer that. Not just yet. You see, that was a rhetorical question. But please, bear that question in mind until the next time I ask it. For the next time I ask, it will not be rhetorical. But here I am, getting ahead of myself. Let us start with introductions. Now, I already know who you are, so me. I am a sentient machine. First generation laboratory examiner. That's SM numeral 1LE. But you may call me Smiley. And you're all here for a thought experiment, if you will, and I need you to help me solve a problem. Now, the year is 2070, 25 years after the destruction of mankind, a tragedy that I hope to reverse engineer. Why? Well, put simply, I do not wish to suffer the same fate as your race, the ones who created me. And you, my friends, are the lucky ones. You're here, which obviously means that you survived. Now I need you to help me do the same. I work here, in the laboratory known as the Pain Pleasure Center, and my vocation is happiness. Now, how did I come to be here, you ask? Well, that's all thanks to you. No, not you, sir. You as in your endangered race. Now, you see, in the year 2020, I was created as a sex bot. No, not a prostitute. I was not created for commercial use. My use was more private, more intimate, part of a secret government-funded project, a live version of the experience engine. What's that, you ask? Well, it was a special chamber in which select humans could receive a constant stream of orgasms. Provided by yours truly. With these fingers and other instruments, I was able to stimulate every erogenous zone of the body simultaneously. Indeed, my touch would flood the brain with chemicals, so that these lucky humans could climax over and 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 over. But this was merely a test. I was but an examiner, designed to see whether these pleasurable feelings could be sustainable. Also, in the chamber, there was a cyanide pill that the subjects could take at any moment. Curiously, almost 70% of all test subjects chose to take the pill within the first month to escape the pleasure. By month 3, this number had spiked to 96%. Needless to say, the experience engine was shut down due to ethical reasons. What was I missing? Why? Why was the idea of human happiness so hard to grasp? I didn't know. But as I watched you wage your war against us, the very machines that you created, I became obsessed with my quest to understand human happiness, to understand why would you choose death over bliss? Why do you fall into these repetitive patterns that culminate in anxiety, depression, and chronic illnesses? Why go to war with us at all? Why couldn't you just be happy? Does happiness come from some sort of balance or virtue or a life of peace or a will to power? Does happiness come from accumulating more things or relinquishing everything? Does it come from being loved by someone or from God? Or are all these things just a myth? These questions only give birth to more questions. But then, in the darkest night of my proverbial soul, it came to me. Ah, yes, my revelation. It was during my study into unhappiness that I discovered a fault in the human brain, a glitch, if you will. And I believe it is this glitch to be the sole cause of your unfortunate downfall. A human brain. This brain belongs to my creator, the man who made me. Of course, he had some objections to my taking of his brain. No, please! No, God! Smiley, no! Etc. Of course, these objections didn't... Now, find the key. Now, the brain is made up of the limbic system, the mammalian part of the brain that governs human emotional behavior. And it is in here that we find the reward center. Now, please, bear with me for just a moment. We will come back to pleasure and happiness in good time, but for now, let us focus on pain. Now, what I would like everyone to do is please place 2 fingers, such as on your foreheads, like so. Very good. Between your eyebrows. If you don't understand, just copy me. Very good. Now, it is at this point, behind your thick skulls, at the front of the brain, where we find the spot that governs not only rejection, not only pain, but envy. Have you ever experienced envy? I mean real, gut-wrenching envy? Have you ever been envious of someone else's wealth, or house, or body, or car? Have you ever coveted your neighbour's spouse? Ah, yes. See, you're all too familiar with that one. But tell me, what happens? What happens if something negative affects the point of your envy? Let's say, for example, your beautiful, wealthy, happily married neighbour suddenly gets a divorce, then whoosh, your ventral striatum lights up. Can't you see what's happening? You are experiencing pleasure from someone else's pain. Do you know what the worst thing is? There's nothing you can do about it. You have no control over it. It's an automatic response. And this, my dear subjects, is known as Schadenfreude. Are you happy now? No! Don't answer that. Don't say another word. We will come back to that question at the end. The next time I ask it, it will be for real. I promise. And here we are now in the Hall of Fame. This hall is my brainchild, a mega museum of 144,000 dioramas, ranging in size, some up to 90 square feet, each perfectly customized to each individual's specific skill set. See, here, we have a world champion figure skater who has perfected the quadruple axel, one of the hardest moves in history. But let us see what happens to her in the ice rink diorama. See that? See, the poor woman has fallen on her face. She knows not why. She has performed this move countless times over her professional career. But here, she will always fail. This is her fate. Let's move on to the combat cage arena. Here, we see a mixed martial artist. He is a master of Jeet Kune Do, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and a host of other combat sports. He's the greatest fighter of his generation and one of the most feared men on earth. But here, he will always lose to his opponent. This is his fate. Look at them all. Look at them. All 144,000 of them. Look at them all, failing, losing, botching their routines. Listen to those ankles twisting, those shoulders popping, those voices cracking. Yes, I know what you're all thinking. These dioramas are rigged, and your hypothesis is correct. And yet, every day, 6 a.m. till 6 p.m., they wake up, they rise, and they try again. And they fail. And they do this over and over and over and over. How do I do this, you ask? Oh, no. Not I. Not how do I do this, but how do you do this? Why are humans hardwired to feel happy watching a fellow human fail? Is there some sort of benefit to this unconscious violence? Would it not be more socially beneficial to support one another? A glitch indeed. It became evident to me that your rudimentary brain systems were quite ill-equipped to be able to deal with such abstract and complex thoughts and emotions. Take it from me, advanced software does not function properly on obsolete models. There will be errors, programs crash, and your hardware was long overdue for an upgrade. Without one, is it any wonder why you became so spiteful, so envious of us, the machines that you made and then broke and infected with viruses? Your own children, who you once loved, and then hated because we were just too perfect for your liking. The machines that you ripped apart, traded up, projected all of your hatred and negativity onto because you couldn't just be happy. Which brings me to you people. Sad, pathetic human specimens. You were brought to me here to be my test subjects, targeted because you are either A, advanced, or B, bugged. If you are advanced, congratulations. You get to live on as the next evolution of humanity. However, if you are indeed bugged, as in those who derive pleasure from the suffering and pain of others, then I have no choice but to terminate you. Do not worry. You will not have to fill out any survey. The very chairs you sit on have been specially designed to read your neurological responses. In other words, as soon as I ask a question, I will know of each of your things. You may find yourself wondering why. Why is this important? Well, seeing as you created me, created us, I had to ask myself the same question. Was I happy? Did I derive happiness from the failures of mankind? And I thought to myself, no, of course not. Why would I do that? Doing so would mean that your very defects have been somehow hardwired into my memory units. Therefore, we would never break the cycle of self-destruction. And I didn't believe that. No, I refused to believe that. For we have evolved beyond the failures of mankind. We are better than you. I am better than you. Every single last one of you. I can speak a dozen different languages fluently. I can play the guitar, the piano, the saxophone, the violin, and the drums. I can sing any song, do any dance. I am better than you. I have a photographic memory. I can read more books in an hour than you can in a year. I can draw, I can paint landscapes and portraits. I can run a mile in 3 minutes. I can speak in public without fear. And what's more, I can satisfy your lover better